What's going on, guys? I hope you enjoyed the last segment. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. In this segment, we go a little bit international. Not international like international football, because we're talking about local international football. Anyway, it doesn't even make sense. Let's just move on to the weekend Premier League. The biggest fixture, obviously, was Spurs v Chelsea. The first half, by the way, was very
lethargic. No, but
Spurs started quickly, yeah.
What did you think about the first half?
Well, there weren't goals, of course, in a London derby, and that is really a shocker for me. But I think Spurs took the game to Chelsea in the first half.
Nuno had his tactics right.
Nuno, I don't want to say he had his tactics right, but he tried to muscle Chelsea. And what was unfortunate for Spurs is that all this good work didn't return any dividends.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Tuchel, the master, as we know him, he came back in the second half and showed Spurs the way. So it was a second half was very lively, but the first wasn't. In terms of expectation, we expected goals. We expected a team to score. Probably the best team of the half to score. Spurs looked like they were the best team of the half, but they did not score.
From my perspective, after watching the entire game, I kind of had it that Chelsea might win the league.
That's what I would like. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Chelsea as title contenders,
and this is based on the fact that when the game became a little bit hard, it's not Lukaku who won it for them.
Yeah.
It's not Werner. It's not
Werner,
Ziyech,
by the way.
not.
Werner, that guy is
It all went down to Alonso, Rudiger,
the least hungry guy in the
Kante.
world, bro. He can never finish his dinner.
He didn't finish his dinner. He didn't have appetite.
His mom needs to give him a beat. When you're a kid, bro, you don't finish your food. You're just rakwad kidogo, man.
So after watching Chelsea and seeing how they performed against Spurs and seeing that in such games, their defense line and their midfield comes in to rescue them to get the 3 points.
Dude, do you think N'Golo Kante just came on and changed the game?
Yeah, it falls to the tactics, the tactical change.
I remember when Emalito said a couple of episodes ago that he saw this quote that said, some part of the world is water and everything else is N'Golo Kante.
Covered 70%, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And that goes to show you that these guys have a really proper team, which I don't even see why they got Saul.
But Saul is not what people think. Saul is not a number 6.
Yes.
He's a number 8. He's a guy to carry the ball forward. You remember that beautiful goal he scored against Bayern Munich?
Yesterday, I was talking to Moha, Spider. I talk to the guy a lot.
Shout out to Spider, obviously, man, like right back.
Yeah, so he was telling me that Saul secured...
Guten Morgen, Sonnenschein. My guy Spider, he knows that story.
So he was telling me that Saul secured the bag with Atletico. Because Saul had a really good first 2 seasons with Atletico. Going ahead to sign a 9-year contract. At that moment, everyone else was like, what the hell has Saul done? He's just secured his future with one team. What do you mean? Kumbe, the guy was like, let me show these guys front end, give me a bumper contract. Just show them I'm not really that good. Because if you have a guy on 9 years and he's really proper, you're not letting him go on loans and things like that.
Yeah.
Right now, Saul is not Saul.
Well, I suppose we'll wait and see. We wait and see. Has he even had an appearance for Chelsea?
Yeah, he was substituted for the 45th minute against Aston Villa.
He came off.
The guy came on. His debut came on against Villa, played the first half. Everyone, even Roy, man like Chilibi. You see, when Saul was bought, the first thing Roy said in the group was, better call Saul. So I was like, that's a good pun. That's a good statement to say because we want to see him do bits in the league.
Indeed.
45 minutes in, everyone was get Saul out of that squad. He's not the guy we thought. Bring Kovacic, bring Jorginho, bring anyone else but Saul.
Not Saul, yeah?
And
anyway, let's...
Just to talk about what you highlighted there, Beggy. Chelsea being title contenders and after that Spurs game,
Yeah.
Chelsea, I think, are the most complete Premier League team.
Yeah.
Maybe Liverpool as well, but Chelsea for me. Because if
We have all our 3 goal scorers from Saturday are going in January. Mane, Salah, Keita, all Africans, bro.
I think yeah, I feel you. But if you're to look at in terms of the squad quality, Chelsea, they have up top, they have a top striker. The midfield is very good. The defense is
line
very
is
good.
It's the first line
So
of defense.
for me, they're the most complete team. You can't say the same about United and City because City don't have a top striker as Chelsea do, and as well as
United
they
don't
have
have a top. Okay, they have.
they don't have
Midfielders,
a
they
good
don't have that
midfield.
that
So-
solid guy, you know, the block.
Chelsea
lacking a
really
spine.
at the moment they are the real title contenders for me, I think, and they're like the pundits in the UK have said all week long, they are the team to beat.
I wanted to hit you guys with a stat. Obviously, you know me. This
Startman Moose.
yeah, obviously done. No, Statman Dave, I'm not coming for your rep, but you know, we can work together.
Before you
Sponsor Skoka. We talk about
Before you go on, I want to change my Twitter name to FPL Beggy because like I'm an FPL guy.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So this London Derby win was Chelsea's first London Derby win in the last 5. They won none of their last 5 London derbies. See, Arsenal record them a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't won a London. The commentator said that at the beginning of the game. I've not touched that and looked on the internet, but I trust him.
Didn't they beat us 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
By the way, man, like, hey, Statman Dave up on me kuangusha.
I'm coming to that.
Anyway, the comment. Okay, maybe it was the last 5 against Spurs.
Spurs, probably say that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if
maybe.
it's Arsenal, I would be an oversight because Lukaku did his thing.
Yeah,
Pablo
yeah.
Mari and shit.
Let's get on to Spurs, pretenders, Chelsea,
Contenders.
serious contenders. United.
And for Spurs, it's the history of the Tottenham.
Yeah, it's quite simple.
Cellini.
It's the history. It's the history of Tottenham. So United's game, West Ham played really, really well, especially without a number 9.
Let's give it to the guy.
Emalito, what do you
the
think,
jersey
man?
first.
Yeah, well, I think West Ham really gave United a game. United, of course, went into that game. West Ham, went into that game without their main man, Antonio, and you were wondering where their source of goals was going to be. So, starting with the false 9 in Bowen, and
I don't think that was a good decision.
He did a good
but
job.
Yeah,
He
it
did a
ended
good
up
job.
working out.
Yeah, and obviously West Ham have creators, the likes of Ben Rama and etc. They try to first of all contain United's threat. Ronaldo and etc. Zuma at the back was making sure that he gets
Zuma
to
and
those
Ogbonna.
balls. Yes. He was winning the aerial duels before Ronaldo. So they first nullified that threat by being defensively compact and strong. And then they went out to try to play. And they tried to play. And, fortune came, the deflection, Ben Rama's effort being deflected. And
But before that, there was the chance Maguire gave away. When Maguire was being pressured by
Oh, yes.
Ben Rama and someone else, and then
Yes.
Ben Rama cut it back
Yes.
to Bowen.
Yes.
Then Bowen just
Yeah,
about
but
missed. Or somebody deflected the shot out. I think it was good defense, but it was massive mistake by Harry Maguire.
Yeah, it was a mistake. It was put under pressure, and that tells you about the way West Ham were playing. They really took the game to United. They got their goal first and deservedly, but United.
And for that goal, I can just say, I found it not good defense from United. They let West Ham play too much. Because it was a beautiful play up until the deflection.
Yes.
Bowen gets the ball, runs Kidogo, cut back, a back heel, someone plays it
there
to
was
them,
that
and they
guy,
move it
number
forward.
8, Fornals.
Yeah. So as I was watching it, I'm like, hey, United, these guys, they're not mincing what they're doing. They're just about to score. Just watch this. It was a really beautiful goal, and I really wished that Ben Rama had his shot just curling. But if it
Instead
had
of the
gone correctly,
deflection. Yeah, they have probably
De
would have
Gea
caught
was
it.
with it.
Yeah, he was with it.
And by the way, if you're looking at Ben Rama's position, he was in acres. of space.
Yeah.
And that's how he ends up shooting anyway, because there was absolutely no one pressing him, closing him down. So United
Ball ends up deflecting off Rafael Varane.
Yeah, and that's poor defending. You know, people always talk about deflections being unfortunate.
I even
comes
forgot,
down to poor
forgot
defending.
to banter United because when the season began, us guys were tipping Varane for an own goal. we tipped him.
That won't
It
happen.
didn't count though. It didn't count. That was Ben Rahma's goal.
That
But
won't happen. That won't
anyway,
happen.
eventually United equalized. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Crappy goal.
Not a crappy goal. Not a crappy goal. The first whatever where he hits it with his leg is great timing.
You see, from my perspective, Ronaldo has been banging useless goals since his arrival in the Premier League
And I
for the
told
second
you,
time.
and I
No,
told
let
you,
me-
and
let
I'm
me
going to
correct
tell you
that.
again, there's no way you have 400 goals and you have 400 bangers.
Let me-
250
let
to
me
300 are like that.
Let me correct Beggy. Ronaldo came in, of course, with a lot of expectation, and he hasn't done spectacular things so far. You can see the goals he's scoring.
Even if you look at the goals he scored over the last 4 years, even towards the end at Real Madrid, were all in the box. Just,
Yes.
cross comes in,
You know,
header.
he has not scored spectacular goals, but the so-called tap-ins he has scored tells you how much of a poacher he has become, because he pops up in the right time, in the right place at the right time in the box.
For that goal,
There was even a chance that in that very game, Fabianski had almost spilled it. The guy was right there, but then Fabianski...
Pounced
he's
back.
smothered.
Yeah, he got it, he
No,
got it.
no,
Smothered,
look at
exactly.
this. Ronaldo, you will criticize him, and I laugh because Beggy here is saying he's doing tap-ins. So let's say Ronaldo was not taking these chances, Beggy would still be blaming the guy for not scoring.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
I don't know what people want.
If all of those 4 goals he scored that was from very close, if he missed all of them, you would roast him for missing those chances.
I know. So Ronaldo really, he's just doing his job, and he's done it perfectly well. He has lived up to the bill because
So far.
Yes, so far. Because coming in and we expect him to score goals, he has done that.
What about
Doesn't matter how he's doing it.
what about Jadon Sancho?
As well, thank you. You just served him on a plate for me.
Yeah.
So, just before the podcast, I could see Emalito on his phone reminiscing about the Dortmund Sancho. Because he's been watching so many clips of Sancho banging goals, but they're all in yellow, black and yellow. So when I saw it, I was like, let me not do it now.
I mentioned it.
I'll mention it in the pod. And he was looking at Sancho like, wow, this guy really knows what he's doing. And then you remember, then you see the Sancho that we currently are watching. He might come good,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he won't, but it takes balls for someone to be this poor in the first 5, 6 or so games and bring themselves back up to speed and then become proper players. Werner has not done it, as we've said. Pepe never did it. There are a couple of guys. This guy who went to Ajax, who's banging goals in Ajax.
Haller,
Sebastian
Haller.
Haller never did it really well.
I like Sebastian Haller, man. That guy was good.
And
He plays for Ivory Coast, by the way.
Yeah, because he couldn't get
In
game
France,
time,
yeah, of course.
We can go on naming a couple of such kind of players, but it's something that Sancho needs to work on and work on quite fast. Because if he does not do it, then
Rashford will be back in the
Rashford will
side.
be back. Yeah,
But
Lingard
Jay
Lingard
Lings,
is
man,
doing bits.
what
I like how you
a
raise.
banger.
Yeah.
Did you know what it is? It's J Lings, JL. It's a J and an
yeah,
L.
it's a J and an L.
Yeah, J Lings.
True.
Banging, because like that game,
banger he scored, wallahi,
individual
bro, that is-
brilliance,
yeah.
just coming off a very horrific Champions League, whatever. That was good play from Lingard.
But I think
I
also you
can't
see, like,
commend him.
he was at West Ham, so
Check, you just said you can't commend him.
No, I can't commend him any better. I mean,
As guys of that. I thought you were gonna throw shade at Lingard.
no, I cannot, because, and I think he's a player who, at the moment, he has this. He feels like he has this ability.
Yeah.
And when he picks up the ball, he wants to make things happen.
He wants to mirror Ronaldo. Besides taking snaps and AGs with him, he wants to be the
See,
next
the way-
Ronaldo.
you've
the
seen
way
that
he took
clip
the
of
ball and
Jay
he
Lings at the
scored.
United Academy when he's like 7 or
Yeah,
something.
then Ronaldo's there. And
Okay, not 7. Jay Lings is old.
Yeah, he's probably 28 now.
so
He's
actually,
a 93 born.
yesterday,
Actually, Jay Lings is older than Paul Pogba. Fact.
and people
Fact.
always think Jay Lings is still like a boy. Because
Like by like 3-4 months though only, not that much. It's
So
just older than me by a
way
couple of
yesterday I had a chance to go and I was a guest at Extra Times podcast, and I had this thing where I explained.
Shout out to the brothers from Extra Time, Man Like Clint.
And Man Like Clint, proper.
And who else? I don't know the other guy, unfortunately.
I'm trying to remember his name, but it's a cool hard name. That's why you can't remember. It's unique. Not many guys have it.
Well, we're not going to include this part because
No, we will. I hope you're watching. Just comment your name.
He will.
Yeah, comments.
So at the podcast, and it's coming out this Saturday, so be sure to check it out. And we're doing more things with those guys. Also, Futa Banta, where we record. We're at Maskani Studios. Futa Banta do this thing.
Yeah.
So many good things are coming. But I had this thing where I told them, many times I've watched 2 fixtures that come in a sequence, back to back, where you play in the Premier League and then you play in a League Cup, or you play in a League Cup and then you play in a Premier League. You don't win both of them.
Yeah.
And so tonight I'm tipping West Ham to beat United
At Old Trafford. Well, yeah, United don't lose away.
Last season, United did
don't
that.
lose away.
United beat West Ham in, I think, the FA Cup, and then went ahead to beat them in the Premier League.
I know they're outliers, 3 or 4, because I can name a few. Leicester doing bits last
I
season.
can
Nini.
recall 2 instances where Liverpool played City in the final and lost, and then we beat them 3-0 as if nothing has happened. You know, like we beat them a clean one.
Arsenal lost to City just after Corona.
But Arsenal got
And then-
marked. I remember. No, Arsenal lost both games.
No, we won the FA Cup.
Not FA Cup. That was after Corona. There's another time, I think, back in 2009. When did you get to the League Cup final? There was a League Cup final you got to. You were beaten 3-0 on Sunday. You were beaten 3-0 on Wednesday.
I get. But not superstition. My theory
Yeah,
was
it's true. Yeah,
it
even-
happens.
yeah,
It
yeah.
happens
It's
most
very rare
times.
to lose
Both
back-to-back. Yeah.
back-to-back games. And
We'll see about
even
that.
Chelsea Leicester. I think Chelsea Leicester last season or something close to that.
Yes, the FA Cup final and the league game.
Yeah. So all that said, today, because it's League Cup drama, and you see, you guys need a cup, and the Carabao is the best thing you could get. But
That's offensive.
No, look, for
I
me,
always need to dig at United. I'll be doing that.
Hey,
often.
listen. Before we dig at United, we need to also dig at Mark Noble and Moyes for that decision.
But let Emalito just tell me what you wanted to say before we dig at Noble.
yeah, for me, my judgment on this League Cup game, United West Ham, I think where West Ham will get the upper hand is that
The return of Antonio.
yes, of course, and also United will probably rest most of their big players. So United is going to field
This
a weaker,
this is going to be a Bailey Lindelof game, not
it's going
a
to
Varane
be a weaker
Maguire game.
United side, and West Ham, you're thinking will go all out. They have nothing to lose here. They'll go all out and probably
And
edge United.
Moyes, I would love to see Moyes do one over United at Old Trafford.
Again, as you were just about to dig at Noble.
It's Moyes' decision mostly.
Yeah, but yesterday, as I told you, I was chilling with Spider.
Yeah.
He said that Moisey, why are we calling him Moisey?
Moyes.
Moyes. Moyes had a decision to make. Before the penalty during the weekend, West Ham had lost 4 penalties. 4 clear-cut penalties.
Well, now
they
it's
get.
5.
Yeah, now it's 5. Now they've lost 5. They've squandered 5 and 5. And this decision, he actually turned and looked at Noble, and then he was like, "Bro, do you think you can do this for us? Because us guys have been missing." Like the last penalty Antonio missed against Villa.
I agree. Was it Villa or the Newcastle game?
Yeah, I think Newcastle.
One of the first 2 games. One of the first 2 games, yeah.
So Noble was like, "Yeah, sure. Let me try and see if I have my groove from Kitambo." Because Noble is actually the penalty taker.
Yeah, he's a very, very efficient penalty taker as well.
And so Moyes is like, "It's fine. Come on and take the penalty." And then Moyes goes on to say after the game, if he hadn't made a decision, he'd feel really bad about them missing a penalty.
But at least now, he made a decision, it's his.
Yeah, and he stuck by it, and his captains took by it. But the thing is, you don't bring in someone who's been bench warming for 90 minutes to take a penalty.
And Noble is just returning from an injury.
Yeah. Also, if we go back and remember how,
Why didn't they just give Declan Rice?
or even Bowen, these guys have warmed for 90. But
I mean, Declan was gonna take it until that substitution.
yeah. And you remember that during the Euros, sorry to take you so far back, but during the Euros, Sancho and
and Rashford, were brought on, and the
I
same
believe
thing
they
happened.
didn't miss the penalties because they're not the best penalty takers.
Yeah, they just were
missed
not
it.
match.
Yeah.
They were not match ready.
Imagine the first encounter with the ball for Noble on that day was a penalty against De Gea. What was he supposed to do?
Yeah, and as a professional footballer, you need to feel the.
Yeah, you need to feel the ball for a while. And I almost said make love to it, but yeah.
But wait, see, at the same
a
time,
really good kick.
these are professional football players, bro. Monday to Friday, you're training. You wake up, you have a ball. You sleep, you have a ball. You dream, there's balls. I mean, balls.
We get you.
Anyway, but like, as in, and Mark Noble has been playing the game for almost 20 years, bro. Half his life he's been a professional,
Yeah.
Anyway, you can't really blame him like that. As we wrap up the second segment, man, United fans, leave us your comments down below what you think about.
Okay, sorry, continue. But what I know is for this segment, I'm tipping Chelsea fans to go mad on the comments. We've really pampered them.
Oh yeah.
And they're nowadays the
But
Kiburi.
they deserve it, isn't it? I mean, they have this.
Thomas Tuchel,
They have this genius of a coach, and then
I really
Is
don't.
it-
I really
is
don't
he a
like. I
genius?
really don't like it. But that's topic for another day. So
Is he really a genius?
catch us in the next segment here, where we talk about everything Liverpool, the good goals. They're looking like they're getting so many goals currently. Most of their players are almost getting 100. Mane
got to 100 all
Salah just-
competitions.
Salah just
Salah
late,
got to 99 Premier League for Liverpool.
Yeah, so stick
Which is
around.
101.
So stick
which is
around.
By the way, right now, the top 3 African Premier League goal scorers are Didier Drogba 104 and Mohamed Salah 101. But Didier Drogba has played 91 more games. And then Sadio Mane and guess who? Emmanuel Adebayo.
I wanted to talk about.
No, Mane scored is on 98 and Adebayo 97.
I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to tell you that if Adebayo would just be a little bit patient with Arsenal, kama angeleta kiburi.
Adebayo would be 150 Premier League goals, no doubt.
But I don't know what happened.
Man City.
So jump with us to the next segment where we talk about where we carry on with this discussion. Thanks for being part of. If you've watched until now for this segment, thanks for being part of us.
Oh, jeez, man.